Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another pen for review, and as you can see, this is an Onoto pen. Now this is a very special pen for me, and you will see why. So let's unbox this pen. So if I remove the outer box lid, you will see here, and let me zoom in a little bit, and you will see the Onoto Platinum Jubilee pen. This is a limited edition run of 70 pens, and I have number 7 here. And when the Queen of England passed away in 2022, I did want a pen to kind of commemorate that. And I had seen this pen available for the Platinum Jubilee. I've not yet seen a pen that celebrates her life, but I saw this pen and it was a silver pen and it was a pen that I wanted. And I went back and forth on this pen purely because it's a little bit thinner and it's a little bit shorter than some of my other Onoto pens. So I decided in the end I would get it, and I'm so glad I have. So you can see here the Onoto Platinum Jubilee pen, sterling silver, limited edition, number 7 of 70. I'll just zoom back out a little bit there so we can get back to normal zoom levels. So what I will do is I'll remove that box there, and you'll see it comes in this lovely glossy red box. And obviously my studio lights are reflecting massively. Now, if I open the box, you will first see this little bit of plinth, and then you will see the certificate of authenticity signed there by James Body, and this is number 7 of 70. And if I remove the little bit of cover there, you'll see the pen in this pouch. You'll see this pen tray, and it is just a single pen tray. You will also see a number of other things here. So you will see the Onoto Discover the Eternal, and this basically tells you that you are a custodian of the pen, and you are a custodian. You're using the pen. You're looking after the pen, even though it is actually yours, you've bought it. Now, you also get these booklets as well. So this is a plunger filler instruction. So this one does come with a plunger filler. So this is the newer style plunger filler from Onoto here. And it is a really, I think it's a really good filling mechanism. And I do like vac fillers, and so it is a vac filling pen. And also a care guide here, general care, how to care for your pen, nibs and ink and filling systems. Now this pen does come actually with a number 7 size Onoto nib, so I'll just put these back in here and then we'll show you the pen in a little bit more detail. We'll remove that just to remove the gloss of the reflection there. So if I remove the pen here, you will see this very beautiful sterling silver pen. And this pen was made to commemorate 70 years of extraordinary service and devotion to the United Kingdom and also the Commonwealth as well. So Onoto celebrated this historic anniversary of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's accession to the throne with the Platinum Jubilee sterling silver pen. The Platinum Jubilee sterling silver pen has engraved sterling silver barrel. The silver cap is decoratively engraved with elements from the crown jewels, complemented with a gold-plated clip and cap band with the Jubilee hallmark. The silver cap button is also engraved with the official Royal Platinum Jubilee logo. And you can see that here, that it is engraved, quite a nice sort of cap finial there. Now, within the dual design, there are shapes taken from the image of the crown as seen on Queen Elizabeth's personal flag. In the same way that the personal flag garlands a crown in roses and leaves, we plant a rose and leaves between every diamond to ensure the personal touch of the Queen is present. The solid vertical lines and the precise geometry of the design represent the Queen's steadfastness and dependability. Now, there were only 70 of these pens made, so I have number 7. But you can see here that the beauty of this pen, it really is a outstanding pen in terms of solid sterling silver there, with a gold-plated clip as well. And I have to say that the amount of times I'd actually seen this pen at pen shows over the last year, and I really, really like this pen. The one thing that did put me off is that the barrel is slightly thinner. I think by about, I think it was half or 1 millimeter than some of my other pens, and it is a little bit shorter than maybe my Onoto Magna Carta or the Onoto Rosetta Stone or the British Museum. So I did hesitate a little bit in terms of picking this one up, but I am really, really glad that I have now picked this one up. So you can see there the amount of detail that is going into that pen. And you can see the various hallmarks around there as well. It really is a stunning, stunning pen. So very glad that I had the opportunity of picking this one up from Onoto and being able to add this one to my collection. It really is a beautiful pen. I do, as you probably know by now, like the sterling silver pens. They are quite long. They are quite weighty, around 90-ish grams in weight. Normally around 93 to 95 grams. This one comes with a number 7 size Onoto nib, which is essentially a Bock 18 karat gold nib. I decided actually, my Onoto Magna Carta, the Rosetta Stone, and the British Museum Great Court all have fine nibs. And as much as I actually enjoy those fine nibs, I am normally a medium nib guy. So I decided I would pick up a medium nib there on this pen. And I have to say, I am loving how this writes. It really is beautiful. Now, the slight difference here in the cap is that inside the cap here, there is a plastic insert here with threads. So it's not metal on metal threads, which help. It also helps if you wanted to post the cap as well, because it's not like the Magna Carta, the Rosetta Stone, and the Great Court. It's not going to be metal on metal, so the threads are actually going to be a lot more softer on this barrel here. So you're probably not, or you shouldn't be getting any micro scratches from it. But this really, I'm just in awe of this. It is a beautiful pen. And you can see the amount of detail, even on that body, that goes into that design. But more so, that cap is just absolutely amazing. So, very, very glad I have the opportunity to add this to my collection. It really is a beautiful pen. It is weighty, though, and I do like those weighty pens, so for me it is quite good. Now, I did say that it has a plunger filler on here, and this one is inked up at the moment, so I can't show you it in action, but here is the plunger filler there that you can see, and it's just a vac filling pen. So you pull this back, you put the nib in ink, and then you basically push down and a vacuum will be created and the ink will rush up into the body of the pen there. But you can see the ink sloshing around in that vac filler, or plunger filler as Onoto call it. But in terms of the size of my hand, this is actually a really nice size. The section is slightly thinner. It does taper down slightly more than some of my other Onoto pens, but I'm really not feeling that in terms of the diameter of the pen. I feel that it is still quite a nice sort of diameter of pen there. But this is just an insane pen. I'm glad that I was able to add it to my collection to be able to commemorate the Queen. I think for most of us, the Queen, certainly in the UK and in the Commonwealth, although like myself, I'm not particularly a royalist as such. I do still feel as though I've lost a grandmother, because the Queen has always been there for most of us throughout all of our lives. She's reigned for a very, very long time, and for her to obviously pass in 2022 was quite sad for most of us, even if we're not royalists. So it does feel as though it is like a grandmother that has passed, because she has always been there with us, whether or not we met her or not. She's always been there in the background, essentially an institution, really. And it is a shame, but I'm glad that I was able to pick this pen up. I haven't actually seen yet a pen to commemorate the Queen's lifespan. I suspect that maybe Onoto might be looking to do one, but it would have to be quite different to the Platinum Jubilee pen, I think, to make it worthwhile. Now, this one does come in a resin version as well, with a beautiful ornate clip and cap, but I decided I do like the heavier weight pens, so I decided I would go for the sterling silver version. So I think with that, let's do a size check, we'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So, the full length of the pen, we are looking about 148 millimeters in length. The length of the cap, we're looking about 66 millimeters in length, and then we'll do a length check on the actual pen body to the tip of the nib or tip of the tines. We're looking about, I want to say, 135 millimeters in length. So this is definitely classed as an oversized pen. I really class anything as an oversized pen that is greater than 130 millimeters in length. You can see the size of my hand there. It is still quite a long pen, so it definitely is an oversized pen for sure. I think what we'll do, we'll do a weight check. Now, bearing in mind that this is inked up, so we do need to account for the ink there as well. But inked up, we are looking, it's about 80, just under 85 grams in weight. The weight of the cap, we are looking at just over 28.5 grams. Most pens are 28 to 30 grams in weight, so the cap alone is pretty heavy. And then the weight of the body, we're looking around about just under 56 grams in weight. So this definitely is a weighty pen. It's not, though, the heaviest pen that I have in my collection, but it's certainly one of the more beautiful pens that I have in my collection. So very glad that I was able to add this to my collection. And you can see there, if I put it up the right way, you can see there 7 of 70, and you can also see the Queen's Platinum Jubilee logo there as well. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have a Cross Peerless 125 in the Platinum. We have an Onoto Magna Classic in the Chase Green. We have an Onoto Longitude. We have an Estabrook SD Oversize, and this is in the Gold Rush Prospector. We have a Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande in the Sand. We have the Onoto, the Platinum Jubilee pen in sterling silver. We have an Onoto Magna Carta, an Onoto Rosetta Stone, an Onoto, the British Museum Great Court Vitreous, and then we have a Montegrappa, and this is the Game of Thrones Winter is Here. So I think let's now do a writing sample. So this pen is inked up. So this is the Onoto, and it's the Platinum Jubilee pen. Now, I did say that I got this in a medium, and it is an 18 karat gold number 7 nib made by Bock for Onoto. Now, the ink in here, I decided I wanted an ink that I could remember, and typically in silver pens I have put Diamine Earl Grey, and I'm trying to break that tradition. So knowing that the Queen and the Platinum Jubilee, there was a lot of purple, I decided that I would ink this up with Diamine Majestic Purple. And I really am liking the combination, and I have to say I've not written with Diamine Majestic Purple for a while. I really do like it, so I probably will be keeping that ink in this pen, and like, I will clean the pen out obviously over time, but I suspect I will probably not put other inks in this pen. So in terms of line variation, you are definitely getting a Western medium. Now, if I push this a bit more, you can definitely get a Western broad out of this nib. And you can see here that it's quite a nice writing nib. There were no hard starts or skips on those vertical lines, which to me suggests that the nib is tuned extremely well. Now, in terms of ink wetness, this I'm sure is going to be quite a wet nib. So we can see here that this is quite a wet writing nib. It's not a fire hose of a nib, but then again, I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be a fire hose of a nib. I can make it wetter if I want to, but to be honest, you can still see that these lines are actually still quite wet. So it's wet enough, I think, for me. Certainly wet enough in a journal. The nib itself is very smooth. What do I like? What do I not like about the pen? It's an Onoto pen, and for most of you now, you've seen me buying more and more Onotos, and I'm up to, I think, 7 Onotos now. Nowhere near as close to how I am with maybe Viscontis, but what I do find about these pens is they are extremely well built. Now, the cost of these pens are also very expensive as well. You are paying for UK silversmiths and goldsmiths, so that is reflected in the price of that workmanship. But these pens are actually going to outlive me, and probably these are going to last, if somebody treated these well, these are going to last for hundreds of years. So certainly will outlive my use or custodianship of the pen. But I hope that somebody, once I have gone, will take care of these pens and write with them like I do, because these pens are going to last an eternity. So from that perspective, that's why I like these pens, that they are pens that are built to be used and built to be lasted, and they will last an eternity almost. So for me, this is a really good pen. What do I dislike about the pen? I have been going more towards cartridge converters more recently. I was a little bit sort of not concerned, but I was a little bit sort of wondering whether or not I wanted the plunger filler on this pen. But I decided I would go for the plunger filler, and honestly, I am glad that I did. The plunger filler will actually unscrew from the section, so you can replace it if you wanted to, or if you needed to later on. So it's not screwed in as such, it's not threaded, but it is an extremely tight connection. So you should be able to remove it and replace that plunger filler. I think that's the only concern I have with a lot of plunger fillers or vac fillers, is that they're not as easily serviceable, but this one is. So I'm glad after talking to Onoto that they explained that, and I decided I would go for the plunger fillet on this one. So there you have it. That's my Onoto, the Platinum Jubilee pen in sterling silver with a medium 18 karat gold nib review. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.